Water. Some memories of water. Watching with eyes of wonder, water overflowing from a rain barrel after heavy rain is one of my earliest recollections of seeing running water, and with it my child's mind working overtime on the making of my own idea of a canal for it to flow way down the slope of the little paddock out the back. My joy was to see it flowing away freely. A tale my mother told to me, a toddler at the time, on the back of her bicycle, bringing me with her to town for the first time, has stayed with me. We were passing Lochray Lake in Galway, the west of Ireland, when she told me that it was said that anyone who washed their hands in its waters on first seeing it would receive the gift of being able to untie knots for the rest of their lives without a bother. It was a great thrill for us when young, growing up on a farm, to walk barefoot into clear ponds of rainwater in hollows, in a freshly mown hayfield by our house as a child in the summertime. Hauling a wooden barrel of water home from the river by the byroads on pony and cart during times of drought in summertime, later on as a teenager, was a job I loved to be given by my father. I'd fill the barrel from the cart in the middle of the gently flowing Roxburgh River with a bucket on a sling down below the bridge, excited to have a few minnows or a little trout in the hole. We'd rock away then out onto the road again with the odd splash out of the barrel, a perfect understanding between myself and the pony. A young country lad new to the city of Galway, I loved craning my neck to watch silvery beauties below in clear water off the Salmon-Weir Bridge. By times, rowing up the River Corrib with friends as far as Loch Corrib and Menlo Castle in student days, bringing books left unopened, mastered by its soporific sensuality in the sunshine, in our youth-filled camaraderie. I discovered my first feeling of power over the water and my first real swim in Spilly on the western coast of Galway, upheld by its density, feeling I'd escaped gravity at last. A power I relinquished temporarily the day I dived in and surfaced too far out for me, swimming back with the struggle, panic-stricken, put to the last breath of my life. Though long ago I stood in awe, wide-eyed at Niagara Falls, I can only call on Tennyson and Wordsworth to describe it. And the wild cataract leaps in glory, and the sounding cataract haunted me like a passion. Cascading water never fails to intrigue and stir our souls. When I was setting up a home on a hill at the edge of a mature wood, with the stream running down through it, what gave me a lot of pleasure was the drainage and freeing up of the flowing water at the top of the wood. It has been our constant companion in full flow in downpours, in just trickling in long dry spells, ever since. Mood music. After the sky has dried its eyes at last, the stream that falls down from above and seeks the bosom of the woods to cry on, in cascading cataracts of tears, begins to laugh at last and loudly makes mood music of its own for us. Consider too the elegance of swans on calm lake waters seeming to take their serenity from their surroundings. But there are swings and moods to all of nature's wonders. The four elements of earth, air, fire and water interacting, and they in turn by their nature interact with us spiritually. Khalil Gibran said, "In one drop of water are found all the secrets of the ocean." A sea change. Literally, there has been a sea change out in the ocean. We have been brought up in the age of plastic on land, but it hasn't stopped there on our shores, as it seemed to have done in Byron's time when he wrote, "Man marks the earth with ruin, his control stops with the shore." What's happening out there now belies that. Man is offloading his deadly waste plastic on shorelines and waterways, which is accumulating at an alarming rate in the depths of the deep blue sea, where it lies, tons and tons of plastic, ready to be consumed mistakenly as food by the innocent monster fish, washed up in places, a condemnation in our faces. All this at a time when hydration haunts the nation. Plastic water bottles are a must. Thick 8 ubica per person. A modern trend where we're lucky enough to have water. On top of long droughts leading to long walks for water, when found often clouded, from holes in the continent of Africa, where man and beast struggle to survive in dried up lands, where famine conditions prevail. There are man-made water shortages and deprivation practices in parts of the world, like those in use by Israel up in the Golan Heights, capturing dams like the Al-Mantara inside Syria and controlling water sources to Jordan and Syria in a blatant tool of war like they're done in Gaza. But on looking back at those great literary works by Marcel Pagnol, Jean de Floret and Manon de Sousse, where plots of land, greed and romantic love lead to tragedy, all over a well, the water needed to cultivate carnations. It's clearly contentious, vital for people, plants and animals. Thirst. Down below the Champs-Élysées, in Charles de Gaulle Etoile, I saw her drinking deeply as she stood on platform 1. She was tall and black and beautiful in the August afternoon, an ebony woman waiting, the soul of the African sun. Any way you take it, even if you take full submersion in it, water eases your nervous system. Just to stroll by a stream touches the softer spots in you and your troubled mind. You find books in the running brooks, as Shakespeare said. You do not have to be by the rivers of Babylon to be inspired. Just be where Milton said your senses will be filled with such sights as youthful poets dream, and a summer's eve by haunted stream. What I have found exciting in the past was watching a man gifted with the skill of water divining, using a hazel rod held firmly in front of him between his two hands as he walked around waiting for the rod to wind back on him if he passed over a spring. Depending on the force of this bending back, the water diviner could calculate how deep the well or underground stream was. The making of a borehole with a drilling machine was next until water was struck, and then the extraction of spring water by a motorized pump with pipes going down the borehole. This procedure was to procure water for domestic use, but in recent years it was commercialized on a grand scale, making spring water available over the counter, so to speak, in bars and hotels. Prior to this advanced method of the provision of drinking water, as distinct from public water supplies by means of dams and reservoirs, spring wells were a lifeline for rural dwellers. Going to the well with buckets or large tin cans for water on well-trodden paths over the fields was part of our young days in the 50s and 60s. As a matter of fact, on the way home from school across the fields and bogs, it was often in the heat of a summer's afternoon, we fell flat on our bellies at a clear-eyed mirror of the blue sky, spring well in the bog, and drank our fill by dipping our faces in the cold, invigorating source, our Ishkabah, the water of life. The vital importance of water. As I said earlier, rainwater from the roofs of houses was stored in barrels and used for boiling, but spring water was reserved for drinking. There was a great faith in it as a curative and as a health drink, and of course noted as the best for quenching the thirst of a hot summer's day, mowing or haymaking in the meadow. What stands out in my mind as regards the life and death importance of water are the images of a pride of lions in Africa lazing around their watering place in the sweltering heat, or elephants both great and small in their chosen river spot, rolling in it for a finish. On a personal basis, on horseback, letting a workhorse gallop to a drinking pond after its hard day's work has remained in my memory. Its long, unbroken drinking session put an end to a mighty thirst. Bringing cattle to drink in a furlough in the evenings, a small lake that dries up in the summer, was also memorable. Subterranean streams of turloughs are challenging, and I've had the joy of exploring them in the past. Fish kills in rivers in Ireland as a result of industrial or agricultural pollution is one thing, but witnessing the death of a river in the town of Orihuela in Spain, the Segura, a number of years ago was gut-wrenching and so disappointing. What was left was toxic, and there were placards to be seen by the residents saying that the river was killing them. Murcia is an area of great droughts, and river water is used extensively for irrigation. The largest river in the world, the Amazon, after a few years of deadly drought in the region, reached its lowest level in 100 years late last year. One can only imagine the knock-on effects on communities in its basin, depending on it for everything. Marty Robbins sings of cool, clear water. All day I've traced the barren waste without a taste of water, cool water. All down and I with throats burned dry, and souls that cry for water, cool, clear water. Of course, Coleridge's classic The Rime of the Ancient Mariner has the unforgettable lines, "Water, water everywhere, and all the boats did shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink." To be a nomad in the desert with your flock is hard to imagine as a way of life. Having mirages of water in the oasis and the merciless sun, on the way to reaching a real one, weary and parched. On the other hand, serious flooding, destruction of property, and displacement of people from their homes are features of rapid climate change. The aesthetic value of rivers goes out the window when they burst their banks. Rising sea levels is a huge concern, and tsunamis happen with devastating consequences, bringing us visions of the flood in the Bible, which ended with the dove appearing with an olive branch in its beak. One of the most important qualities of water, this time holy water, used by Christians daily in blessing themselves for protection from harm, is its power over demons. It's used in most of the rituals of the Catholic Church. Christ, setting the scene forevermore for the sacrament of baptism, was baptized himself by St. John in the river Jordan.